Please welcome JA Student Ambassadors Millie and Aiden.
Hey, Aiden, do you think we can get an award just for reading the script? I've been practicing all week.
Nice try, Millie, but no trophy for us today. We're here to introduce someone who's really earned it.
Okay, so how do you become a laureate?
Well, if you're Blair Richardson, you work really hard. By the time he was 14, he had 5 different businesses. Yup, 5. Things like snow removal, golf ball retrieval, lawn cutting, and even a catering business. Basically, if you needed something done, he was your guy.
Wow! Hand over that chef's hat. I need to get my act together and start a business.
Same. Mr. Richardson is a real inspiration. He's helped create thousands of jobs and invested in 48 different companies through Bow River Capital. That's over 8,000 people working because of his efforts. And the best part? He shares his success by helping create more secure futures.
Now let's learn more about Blair Richardson.
He's a constant learner. He's someone who digs deep into anything and everything he gets involved with. He doesn't do anything a little. Everything he does is 110%.
A great mind, he's a unique talent. Now it's like talking with a machine gun, but the reality is you're trying to actually absorb the bullets versus dodge them.
Known as a fast talker with striking focus, Blair Richardson's remarkable career in finance has spanned more than 40 years. Blair Richardson was born in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada in 1952.
His father said to him when he was young, there are 3 ways to be successful in this world. One is you have to be a genius. The second is you have to be a phenomenal athlete, professional level athlete. And the third is you gotta work harder than basically everyone else. You're not a genius and you're not a professional athlete. So you know what you need to do.
When I was 14, I had 5 little companies: parking lot, golf ball retrieval, lawn cutting, snow removal, and a catering business. So I became an entrepreneurial person to sort of work my way up the economic ladder. And I joined Canada's oldest brokerage firm, a company called A. Ames & Company. And I was fortunate by working hard. I became the youngest partner at the age of 30.
After leaving A.E. Ames & Company, Blair headed to New York.
And he's got a very well-defined philosophy and set of principles, a set of disciplines. And then his track record is amazing. What he pulled off at Goldman Sachs across the globe, what he pulled off at Morgan Stanley in Asia and elsewhere.
I've been very blessed because I was an early partner at Morgan Stanley, and I decided to move to Colorado instead.
Blair founded Bow River Capital in 2003. Over the last 22 years, the firm has grown to nearly 80 employees who manage approximately $5 billion in assets.
Beneath that, we have some 40 companies, and they have about 8,000 employees.
He buys existing companies and builds, hires people, and he's not a scorched earth, seek and destroy type investor. He is a builder, and I think he knows that's the best thing for our country, but also getting great returns.
Phone calls with Blair Richardson are perhaps the most efficient thing I've ever experienced. KT, call me. That's it. I call, he picks up. Here's the 3 reasons to invest in this thing. Without a hello, without a how are you, and then we finish in about 17 seconds, and he goes, okay, later.
Prolific relationship builder and networker, and he was immediately involved in the community and doing just amazing things.
So one of the things I'm truly appreciative of Blair for is, as the incoming board chair of National Jewish, he immediately reached out to me and helped mentor me and get me prepared for that task. He led our capital campaign for our Center for Outpatient Health very successfully.
Blair is passionate about giving students a head start, helping first-generation students at MSU Denver start IRAs.
We plan to grow this program to hopefully 8,000 or 9,000 students.
Blair is always willing to lend a hand, such as his service on the para board, which, as we all know, has had its challenges. And Blair worked very diligently to try and help them right that ship.
Blair is a role model for what a conscious capitalist, a humane capitalist should be.
Nobody works harder than Blair Richardson in any regard, whether it's on building his businesses, contributing to his community, building his family. My guess is it goes back to that story from his dad when he was 8 or 10 years old.
Please welcome Blair Richardson.
Good evening, and I would like to thank, obviously, Junior Achievement in the Chamber, and I want to recognize my fellow nominees and laureates. But I want to talk about someone, Buzz Coble. I knew Buzz, and he was a world-class businessman. He was a great family man, and my wife and I got to know him because of all the work he did from a charitable side. So Sherry, congratulations to you and your family. He was a class act. When I first moved here from Hong Kong, Buzz wrote me a letter and he said, "Blair, we know you're a Republican. Stop having these fundraisers for Democrats." I still have that letter in my archives. So my story is common to many of the people that have been up here. I grew up in a small community called Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada, and my father's family were railroaders. People who were railroaders actually laid the ties and the tracks. And my father lived in a house with 9 children, 2 parents, and that house was 800 square feet. And Adam Agron said it correctly. My father took me aside at a very early young age and said, "Son, there's 3 ways out of a very difficult economic situation. That is, you can be a genius, and son, I don't think you're a genius. Second is you can be a super athlete." And my father's family were super athletes. They were so poor, they were goaltenders, they played hockey. They used to arrange the hockey practices and the games around he and his 4 brothers, because they only had 1 set of goal pads. My dad's oldest brother was the captain of the Canadian national hockey team. My father was the captain of the Canadian national hockey team. My father played for Detroit Red Wings with Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay. And I followed my father's 3rd advice, which just get up very early in the morning, work harder than anyone else, and be an entrepreneurial person. And the story is correct. When I was 14 in grade 9, I had 4 companies. And I had so much cash coming in, I had $1,000 a month. I became a loan shark. I literally, when young people in high school would get a speeding ticket or a ticket of $50 from the court system, I'd lend them $100, and when they couldn't pay, they'd come by my locker and I'd say, "Let me have that watch and let me have that sweater." I was very interested in an early age in finance, and as the video says, I was the youngest partner at a firm that was Canada's oldest security firm at the age of 28. But I wanted to go to New York, and in New York, it didn't matter whether you were from Saskatchewan, Staten Island. If you could make it in New York, you could make it anywhere. And I was very fortunate to be selected by Goldman Sachs and then Morgan Stanley. I became a partner very early on at Morgan Stanley. They sent me to Japan, and Morgan Stanley had a huge operation in Japan. It was $1 billion business. I did not build it, I inherited it. And one of the things that helped me along the way is I asked my wife whether she would take our 3 children to Japan. Most wives would say, I'm staying in Connecticut, you're in Japan by yourself. But Kristen said to me, Blair, we've traveled all over the world, let's go to Japan. And that was the type of support that I had. I later was moved to Hong Kong, and Mark Hamthel, who was one of my earlier partners from Morgan Stanley, he and I built $1.5 billion business in Japan. We became the #1 underwriting firm, #1 sales and trading firm, and we dominated Asia. And we worked so hard. People who worked for me would come in Saturdays and Sundays. We never quit, but we won. So my decision was then to go to New York, and Kristen is a Midwesterner from Wisconsin. I'm a Midwesterner from Canada, and we selected Denver. It was the best decision we ever made. People here wear cowboy boots and they wear suits, and a handshake is a deal. So this award is not for me, but it's for the people at Bow River. I have 80 employees. They are the very best. These employees and partners can work at the very best firms in New York. They are so talented. So this award is for Bow River, but it is also for my wife and my family, who allowed me to do all the crazy things I did, travel the world. There was never a deal that I had to miss, and my wife kept the fires burning at home, and my kids were terrific. Thank you very much.